Welcome to the 2021 School District Annual Meeting for the Town of Jackson. As I'm like that old song, how can you miss me if I won't go away? I'm back again for another year. Tim Scott is my name, and I was the moderator for 20 years. And I hope you can hear me through this mask. We'll begin by saying Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have the usual two pieces of housekeeping we have to do at the beginning. One is to dispense with the reading of the checklist, and I'd like to have a motion to that.
So moved.
Moved by Kathy. Moved in second. Any objections, any comments? Okay. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. The second is to dispense with the reading of the warrant, and we'll take each article as it comes along in order. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Moved by Kathy, second.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, we move on to Article 1. See if the school district will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $2,993,118 for the support of schools, for the payment of salaries for school district officials and agents, and for the payment of the statutory obligations of the district, with $17,100 offsetting this amount from various grants. This article does not include appropriations voted in any other warrant articles. Is there a motion to bring forward Article 1? Moved by Jerry, second. Okay, discussion on the budget. Yes?
I'm not sure if I should do this at the end of the meeting, Sarah Clemens. I do want to speak a little bit about what we got from the federal government. And I just spoke to Lily, and she told me you don't have any idea what you're going to get from the last COVID-19 bill. But would you rather I wait till the end of the budget to just mention these things? Because
I don't know what it is you're talking about.
okay, I think it would be better at the end, maybe.
Can we take that under the other business?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's not anything about spending.
It's not going to change the budget.
Doesn't change the budget, okay. Thank you.
No.
So any other comments about the budget? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Article 1 is passed. Article 2, to see if the school district will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $25,000 to be added to the capital reserve fund known as special education, previously established for this purpose. Is there a motion to bring Article 2 forward?
So moved.
Moved Jerry, second.
Second.
Second Kathy. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The article is passed. Article 3, to see if the school district will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $15,000 to be added to the capital reserve fund known as school buses, previously established for this purpose. Is there a motion to bring forward Article 3?
So moved.
Moved Jerry,
Second.
second Kathy. Any discussion? Yes?
Yes, Sarah Clemens. With the school buses, have we found any problems in the sense that with the COVID-19 and the restrictions on students riding the bus? There's so few students that normally ride it. I didn't know if more students or less students were riding the bus as it is, and are we having problems with our bus drivers?
Jackson is in good shape as far as the buses go. Other towns, Conway, the bigger routes, yes, but Jackson, you guys are in good shape.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments on Article 3? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the Article 3 is passed. Article 4, to see if the school district will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $3,000 to be added to the Whitney Maintenance Trust Fund previously established for this purpose in 2010.
So moved.
Moved?
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion on Article 4? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The article is passed. Article 5, to transact any other business that may legally come before this meeting, of course, doesn't involve money. So, Sarah?
Yeah, I just wanted to speak up and say that I asked for the COVID-19 federal funding relief that the town of Jackson has received. And Jackson has received, under one portion of the SA Fund Grant CARES Act, we received $9,808.78, and the expenditure was for long-term substitutes. Could you explain what a long-term substitute is?
Absolutely. So, you have your typical substitutes that you would pay on a daily basis. So in order to manage the different cohorts, being smaller group sizes of students and maintain supervisions, as well as if people have to quarantine and support those folks. So what we do is we make a commitment to anybody who's willing to be a substitute for a period of time, a longer period of time. Typically, during a regular non-pandemic year, it's over 20 days is what we're looking at. So it's been extremely valuable to have a committed person who gets paid a per diem rate or a daily rate. It's higher than a typical substitute, depending upon their qualifications. But if a staff member has to quarantine for either school-related or personal-related, this person can step in and continue the instruction in the classroom for the kids. And it's not like you're moving a lot of daily subs in and out, because that's not good either. So it's a commitment to a singular person for a period of time.
Thank you. And then it also, this is SPSRF number 1, Supplementary Public School Response Fund. And Jackson received $16,200. And this was long-term substitute and staff planning. Could you explain that?
Well, I will tell you, a long-term substitute
Right, it's the same.
costs more than $9,000. So we use part of that money to pay for the first part of the year, and then there's money for the second part of the year. So that's what that is. So it's not a number of bodies, we're paying for a body there.
And then staff planning?
Yeah, so that went to this summer. Remember, we had to do a good deal of planning that had to take place to develop schedule models, and we had that re-entry committee to take a look at facilities. So that's what that went to, as far in also for teachers to really be prepared to go remote instruction as well. So it was directly related to addressing education in the pandemic.
So in other words, this money also went above and beyond their normal pay?
Yes, that's right. So summertime hours, Sarah, so to get people to come in during the summer, I think Gail did a couple of different things, but a lot of the hours were in August.
Mhm. And then we have the SPSRF number 2, Supplementary Public School Response Fund. And we received $10,506 for that. Could you tell me what that's for?
I don't have.
Oh, excuse me, it says tents, technology
Yeah.
upgrades,
Yeah.
and cleaning supplies and PPE. So technology upgrades, I think, is the only one that I'd like to hear about.
Sure. So there were upgrades that needed to take place in this building, the Wi-Fi, as well as purchase of Chromebooks for students, so that everybody had up-to-date devices that could be used for both remote instruction and face-to-face.
I think the reason I wanted to bring this up is because I wanted to see the many thousands of dollars that this is just Jackson. I also have what Bartlett, Conway, Albany, and so on got. But I just think that it's very important for individuals in all towns to know where the federal dollars are going, because it is all of our tax dollars. And I think sometimes transparency could be nice. Obviously, I don't know, possibly you could have mentioned them in your meetings on your school board, but I just didn't happen to hear it or see it when I looked up, but that's okay.
We have discussed it. So-
Yeah,
But-
those documents have been shared out in multiple forms.
But I think where this is, I guess there's only what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the school board itself, residents here, we've just spent a very large amount of money. And I think that, you know, we just have to keep aware of what is not only spent with our property taxes in our county and state, but also what's being spent in our federal taxes.
I agree.
So that was and I want to thank Lily for doing this for me. She was very good about getting it for me, so I just think that I just want to commend her on doing that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Jerry?
Yeah, but like you said, Sarah, thanks for bringing that up. And just for clarification too, the monies you're talking about apply to the current fiscal year and not to next fiscal year. So
To 2021,
so the 2020, 2021 school year.
right, because none of us know, which I just found out, what's going to happen with the December, and forgive me because I don't know what COVID-19 act that was, but in December, the federal government and our Congress just gave us another large amount of money that's going to be spent throughout. And as I left my house, they were still reading the bill for the new American Recovery Act. And so I just think, again, we have to understand it. The teachers and our municipal workers and our police, and this is probably beyond what should be said here maybe, but we're keeping them full salary, full insurance, and making sure that nothing changes in their lives. When in this time period, many things have changed in many other people's lives, and I think that should be noted as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Anything else to bring before the meeting before we call for a motion to dissolve? Hearing nothing, but I have a motion to that effect.
Can I make a short statement?
Sure.
And it's just something I just thought. I think, you know, I've been in this town almost 25 years. And I have to say, this school and this school board has been running this school in a marvelous way. With all the things that have come up, and all the major problems with COVID and all this other stuff, I think they're doing one hell of a good job, time expression. And I just want to say,
Thank you.
Thank you.
I agree.
Get that in the minutes, that's great.
I agree with that comment. Thank you.
Jerry, I just responded. Thank you, Gina, for those comments. And I would just add to that one of the biggest reasons that happens is because of Kevin, Richard, Jim, Bill, Lily, the jobs that they do, the resources that they have at the SAU 9 are pretty limited. And the work that they have to put in to make sure that everything runs as well as it does goes above and beyond what's expected of them. So I really thank them for the job that they do for that. Appreciate it.
Second.
Yes, Sarah.
That's a good point too. We haven't, you mentioned the culverts that you use for the school. Has that worked out in the building, or do they come here? Or is that working out okay with our student rolls of 49?
It's, in Jackson, of course, it's a little bit different because you do have that, but it has worked very well. We really have had minimal cases in Jackson, which is a tribute to not only the parents in the community, but the school staff in really managing that situation. But in other parts of the bigger SAU, it's worked very well. I mean, we've quarantined, I think, 200 teachers over the course of the year. In about 800 student days have been, or 800 student experiences. Some students have to do it but they've managed very well, so it's trying to keep those numbers down so that they don't spread. And I think, knock on wood, we've been very effective in maintaining that so that we can keep in school. So, no, I think the teachers and the staff throughout the whole SAU have done a really good job of managing that and that contact tracing. And our school nurses, I will tell you, our school nurses have been, and Pam works with them every single day. They're on the phone. I mean, when you say life hasn't changed for the full-time employee, I'll tell you, it's been 7 days a week, 24 hours a day for these folks, including calling on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, all their vacations. So their lives have changed tremendously as well. And but it's been effective, and they want to do that. So that's the type of commitment your educators in the community have put forward, because they understand the value of face-to-face instruction and how important that is for our students.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Okay, still waiting on a second to dissolve the meeting.
Then I will be here.
Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Meeting is
Thanks
dissolved.
everyone for coming.
Thank you.
Pam, I didn't say your name. Sorry. You probably have the hardest.
Six people, the first pending company.